What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
I know what's going on. It's episode 246 as we close in on our landmark 250th episode of the Big Shot Bob podcast. B-Dog Brandon Harper. I'm Rob Jenners, live from 1993. Sending a fax this morning is Robert Horry, seven-time NBA champion. Yeah, the group text. I opened the session today to do the podcast, and Rob's camera's on, but he's not in the office.
Got it.
So I'm okay. I'm like, he must be doing something. And then I get the text, hits the group text that says, I'll be right back. I had to send a fax.
Okay.
And I don't know the last time I've heard another human being say anything about having to send a fax.
I'll you know what? Let me not do that. I've heard my mom talk about sending fax. But working in the education system, sometimes, you have to fax over information and things of that nature. So I digress.
Well, when my kids hear this, they're going to die laughing because they know what sending a fax means. It doesn't mean sending a fax.
You had to take a boo-boo. Oh, okay. All right. Well, look, I don't know your code. Shaq uses the texts all the time he's in a meeting. And that's what that just meant. Yeah.
Cool.
Like, are you coming? Yeah, I'm in a meeting. And then I would get a picture of his underpants around his ankles. And I'd be like, I don't need to see that. I don't need to see that.
I'm not sending you no picture of my underpants because I don't wear underpants when I'm...
Again, we've gone down a whole road here.
I'm totally kidding.
Dr. Commando in here.
I'm totally kidding. That is too dangerous. I would never do that. That's too dangerous.
It's especially when you're on live.
It's too dangerous to go commando.
Yeah, well, especially when you're on video. You know what I mean? You never know what could happen. But how are you, man? What's going on? How was your week?
My week was, how do I put it? Different, uneventful, crazy, because, I was supposed to go to Lubbock, Texas to do the Texas Tech.
That's right. Did you not make it to that?
I did not make it. The flights got canceled. And then I was mad because it was a really good game. And I missed the game. So, that morning when I came from my workout, I told Candace, I was like, you're going to be mad at me. She's like, why? I said, because they canceled my flight. And it's like, what? Why would I be mad? I said, because now you got to put up with me for 48 hours.
Yeah, whatever you had scheduled, just throw it out.
Just cancel everything.
Yeah.
We ended up going to the UCLA game, so it was fun. We had a good time.
That's good. Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that traveling to Texas would have gotten blown up. But it was weird because it was very uneventful in Atlanta. Like they were just, ice storm's coming. I don't know, we had like a light drizzle in my part of town and little tiny bits of ice here and there on the road, but everything was fine otherwise.
Yeah, in my way, it was some rain. There was really there was no snow. The ice came from whatever froze over that night. But I drove, the Hawks played the Pacers yesterday. I was like, you know what? Let me drive to this game. And I believe it was either yesterday or Saturday, one of them, either way. And I'm like, man, let me go. And the city was perfectly fine. It had to be because that's where the most traffic is going to go. So you had to have the ground salted. And man, it was just cold. Now, your northern parts of the state, northeast, northwest, that's where a lot of your damage is. That's where a lot of the ice, the snow, power lines are down. Thousands of people have lost power. Yeah. A lot of people still without power. So that's where a lot of the damage in Georgia came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wild story.
Yeah, I just feel bad for everybody from Texas on over because it's just crazy cold. So
yeah,
everybody stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe. People got clubbed with snow too up in the Northeast. Man, I got friends up in the Northeast that were just shoveling themselves out of a couple feet of snow. So it was a weird storm, but we got it all the way down here. Also a weird day yesterday because it was the Kobe anniversary. 6 years ago we lost Kobe. So I don't want to say I forgot, but I kind of forgot that it happened on the 26th because immediately my whole feed yesterday was just Kobe. Everything was Kobe. Mm-hmm. And justly so. You know what I mean? Justly so. But it kind of sneaks up on me every year. And I sort of forget about it a little bit. And I don't forget about him as a player and as the guy he was. But then you remember it's like, oh, yeah, shit, that happened. And that's the thing. And it you knew him. You guys were friends. I was obviously we talked to him on the phone once. It's about as close as we ever got with him. But damn, I miss him.
Mm-hmm.
I just miss seeing him around the game of basketball. I miss the things he was doing with his kids. I miss the things he was doing outside of basketball. And it's just every year it comes back up, and it just reminds me. I was like, shit, that's a wound that's going to be hard for us. If you're like a real diehard sports fan, that's going to be an open wound for a long time. That's really hard.
Yeah, it's going to probably be around for generations and generations because of what he brought to the game. And I think for me, you think about it, I met Kobe when he was a teenager, and to see him evolve from a guy who don't know anything to a guy that knows everything. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a great way. Because when you think about the game of basketball, you have to, when you come in, you got a lot of talent like he had. He's just all about raw talent. I'm just going to kill you with my talent. And then he becomes smarter, and his talent gets even better. And it's like, man, this ain't fair. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just one of those things to watch him evolve as a player and as a human being was great. And so I'm just, happy what he did for the basketball, but more importantly, had the opportunity to play alongside him and against him. So, we hate that it happened, and you can't. There's so many stories you can tell about it, but you just hate it.
And he, in a sense, he lives on through, like I said, through you, through a lot of people who played with him, who know him. He lives through a lot of the guys who are still playing that looked up to him. It seems 6 years. It seems like it's been a lot longer than that, because it seems like he kind of kicked off what was a really, really difficult 2020. Like it went from him passing, and then we went right into the pandemic about a month or two later. And so 2020 is one of those years that you don't forget, obviously, one, because of that, and then everything else that transpired. But, Kobe is passing, and then, everyone else, his daughter Gigi, and, so many others who passed in that tragic crash. It's not something that you really can get over, because he had a whole new life. Like, he was going to end up winning. He won what? He
won an Oscar.
An Oscar. Yeah. He was probably going to. Who knows what else he would have won? Because you never know. Kobe took that same effort from the basketball court into other things and had a whole nother life. He was a young dude. Like, he was old basketball terms, but as far as life, Kobe is super young.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to see him tragically lose his life when we lost one of our greats, like not just a Laker great, an all-time sports great.
Yeah.
And we know that based off how the community's shown him love and how they're continuing to show him love year in and year out.
So just thoughts and love to his family, and obviously the families of everybody that lost their lives that day.
Absolutely.
But it's a tough anniversary every year when it comes up. It always sneaks up on me, and I have that moment of, why am I seeing so much Kobe today in my feed? And I'm like, oh my goodness. So yeah, kind of kicks you in the gut.
But we see it in the summer too, because August 23rd he has back-to-back days. One of them is his birthday, and then August 24th is Kobe Day.
Yeah.
So,
and one thing I want to move on from this, because I don't want to harp on this for too long, just because this is kind of a downer topic, but I do miss also when he would go to a game with Gianna.
Yeah.
And they would sit usually courtside, and then he would talk to her a little bit, and then she would stop him, and she would point out everything that everybody else was doing, and Kobe's just nodding like this, like, yep, she gets it. She gets it. So to lose that poor young woman. I mean, it's heartbreak all around.
Yeah.
But we're thinking about Kobe and his family on what's a tough anniversary. I'll give you an up anniversary, a happy anniversary. Tomorrow's 5 years. Tomorrow's the 5-year anniversary of this show. Our first show dropped January 28th of 2021. And tomorrow is, depending upon when you're listening to this, we're recording this on the 27th. Tomorrow's Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. So it's officially the 5-year mark of the first episode, where it was just me and you.
So it's
five talking about God knows what for an hour. And and just watching that show grow, and all the people have joined us over 5 years, and all the things we gotten to do, and who knows what's coming. So a lot of fun stuff going on. But
absolutely.
That's a cool moment. Have you worked a lot lately? Have you worked at all lately?
No, I haven't.
You haven't really worked. Have you worked at all? You haven't worked at all, or you just haven't worked?
Well, I worked. I had a late game the other day, but we talked about that. But I haven't been working because I was supposed to go, to Lubbock this weekend.
Where are you guys on the Lakers right now? They seem still just kind of. It was cool to see the Luka come back against the Mavs. That was fun. Mm-hmm. It was cool to see LeBron kind of go, "Hey man, that's his team. Don't come talk to me. That's his team." So those are cool moments, but I don't know if they're they're stuck at 5. They're with the Rockets, the Suns, the Timberwolves, the Warriors, all within a game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't really kind of run away with anything, but they're finding ways to scrap back into some games, and then some games they're just losing. And you're like, the hell kind of effort was that? So I'm kind of just sort of in the middle where they are. I don't know.
It's weird because, they have some games where they play good defense. Then you have some games where, you look like y'all don't even know how to play. Like y'all just got together and it's a summer league game. So it's really weird. Like you look at the Clippers game, they were like, Kawhi was just killing them. You look at the Hornets game, they were just killing them. You look at the Raptors game where they were just, doing their thing, the Nuggets. And it's so up and down.
Yeah.
And even like last night, you see where they, they shot the ball, they up 20, and next thing you know, the Bulls come out and killing them from 3. And now, we got a game. Well, it's just so up and down. But that's one thing that a lot of people have to understand. When the Lakers, the Warriors, the Celtics, the Knicks, those top brand name clubs, you're going to have up and down because you are certain teams, NBA championship. You ought to gauge on how their season is going to go. And so I think sometimes teams like that forget when you're up, these teams are inspired. They're not just going to lay over. And I think that's what the Lakers get a lot of times.
Yeah, I think they're winners of 4 of their last 5, which is cool. Play whoever's on your schedule who comes up. Everybody's going to give you their best. I don't know. I think they're a middle team in the West trying to stay out of the play-in because you have so many other teams that are ahead of you that you're hoping also, go on a losing streak while you're continuing to compile these wins so that you can move up. I think it's just tough in the West. And it's like I've always said, it's something about the Lakers that even when they are winning 4 or 5 or they're 4 in a row or whatever it may be, it's still something about them when it comes to the sense of consistency that just does not sit right with me. They don't look, even when they win, it doesn't, you don't feel confident in it's like, well, dang, we had a hard time with them.
Yeah.
Jesus, you know what I'm saying?
And then you're down big to the Mavs and you claw your way back into it. So you're like, but that's the Luka that I feel like you get very inconsistently in LA right now. And I know that's probably a function of the roster and the play calling and having LeBron James and having to try to work in DeAndre Ayton and Rui and all these other guys, get that. But getting to see that version of Luka, I'm like, can we get more of that Luka? Now, defensively, yes, there's a lot to be desired there. But I do love seeing Luka just kind of put the ball in his hands and go, okay, I'm going to throw 20 up in the fourth quarter and claw us back into this game.
He pisses me off. He's one, I've always said that. He's one of them superstars. He aggravates my soul.
I like when he does that, though. Give
that's
me more
cool.
of that. Yeah.
But he is the type of, it was a good getting him. It was highway robbery, especially for how the Anthony Davis thing is gone. It's something about him. It's probably on the defensive end, which we'll probably barely ever see him get any kind of defensive prowess whatsoever while he's in LA, unfortunately. But it's still something about Luka when it comes to his shot selection sometimes that it just doesn't sit well. It doesn't reek of championship basketball. And I could be wrong, but the way this team looks right now, I don't care what they're doing. They just don't feel like a team that I think can win a best of 7 series. I just don't.
We just talked about one of the greatest players, Kobe. You remember what Kobe said, right?
Which time?
You can't win a championship with one guy, scoring all the points and not playing.
Can't win with that Wi-Fi either.
Yeah, no, you're never going to win anything with that internet, terrible California internet that he's got.
Dude, it's you guys. It's your weather over there.
Oh yeah. Okay,
our weather is perfect. It's just the temperature is
It's
cold.
just cold. Yeah, that's it.
It's freezing the lines over there.
That's it. Yeah.
No, but yeah, he was just saying that that's not winning basketball, and I think the Lakers need to figure out a way how to get Luka more involved and getting other people involved. What are you talking about? He gets triple doubles. Yeah, he gets triple doubles, but you got to understand, it's a difference when you getting a play ran for you and you feel more engaged instead of waiting and all of a sudden, oh shit, here comes the ball.
Yeah.
Because to me, when you look at players, you should get a triple double if you got the ball 95% of the time, and all of a sudden everybody comes and you can't get a shot off because everybody's around you defense. You got to kick it out. Triple doubles are harder to get when it's within a system.
Yeah.
So like when you're in a system and then everybody's getting involved, that's why you see a lot of these guys that get a lot of triple doubles. Like we think of Westbrook, a lot of his triple doubles were on their terrible ass teams when he won MVP is because he was the GOAT. Everybody came towards him. He had to kick it. And if you don't make pot shots, you don't need to be in the league. But I think, sorry to interrupt, but
no,
you look at last night, how they ran plays for Rui, and Rui was shooting the shit out of the ball. See, now that's what you do. When they started doing that, and you can still get your shots, but make the good shots great shots. And he has a tendency to shoot a lot of bad shots. Not just him. There's a lot of superstars that do that.
Yeah, but a lot of superstars ain't wearing the purple and gold. So, but I also think a lot of this team's success is built around DeAndre Ayton and how active he is on both ends of the floor. But we've seen, him go through a lack of offense where he was feeling some type of way about not necessarily being involved and incorporated into the offense. And what happens with that is, we've seen it before, it affects him on the other end of the floor, which is where you really need him. And I think they need to really make sure they get him involved offensively so he'll show up on the other end of the floor. I don't like the fact that his offense determines his defense, but that is what it is, and you knew that when you got him. So if that's the case, make sure you're making him happy on the offensive end where he feels involved and incorporated. So on the other end of the floor, he can be active, altering shots, blocking shots, crashing the boards. Because if not him, then who? That's why you went to go get him, and you're still poor defensively. So I mean. It really revolves a lot around DeAndre Ayton as well, because teams are attacking the basket, they're getting into the paint, and you need a guy that can kind of alter those shots and make guys think twice about coming in the paint.
Yeah, I think with DeAndre Ayton, he's so, and that's one of the things. Like I think they're like 17-1 when he's like 15-10, and there's a way, and he's a type of player that as the season has gone, he's kind of gone down to me.
Yeah,
and what I mean by that is because they don't use him as much as they used him in the beginning. They would like go to him. They like, we figured him out. Let's get him involved. We get him involved, we win. And now they're getting to a point where they're starting to forget about him. I know he's been out with an elbow and he got poked in the eye, but still though, this is the way of the NBA. Guys don't play hurt anymore. And I think if you don't use him, and that's what I really like about Marcus Smart on this team, because he's like his motivator. He makes sure he tries to get him the ball. He's like, yo, man, come on. He's like encouraging him. They yell at each other, and sometimes that makes guys go. And that, to me, you have to get certain players in this game. When you get them involved, they're really good. But if you don't use them, they Homer Simpson in that bush.
Yeah.
And that's how DeAndre Ayton is. He's a Homer Simpson in the bush when you don't use him. You might well sit him over there and put in, Jackson Hayes.
Yeah. And fortunate enough, like I said, this would hurt more if you had spent a lot of money to go get DeAndre Ayton, because then it's like, well, you definitely, what are you doing not feeding him? But even though you're not spending a lot of money, if you know you're much more effective when he's 15-10 and your record shows it, hey, keep it simple, stupid. Go back to him.
Well, follow the trend that works, right?
Right.
And follow the number that works. JJ's a numbers guy. Follow the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just trying to sit up here and make Luka happy and give him all the shots, then there's no reason for Luka to lobby to go get somebody like DeAndre Ayton. You go get a guy like that because you want him involved. Get him back involved. Luka will be fine. I'm not worried about Luka. Every time he get the ball, he take a shot. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about other guys that are gonna be key pieces to you wanting to possibly win a title or give you a chance to win a title. Or one of them.
Or come play with you in the following years. It's a big difference.
Just what it is.
Guys want to play with you,
Do you think they make a move at the deadline?
They only have one piece. and he ain't playing right now.
They are.
Yeah, you think about that.
He been out for a minute, ain't he?
Yeah,
he's been out for a minute.
He's supposed to come back sometime this trip, so in the next 3 to 4 games. But that's the only piece you have over that's valuable. And you got to think about it. Nobody out there is a needle mover that's going. You don't trade just to be trading them.
No,
out
of course not.
Like,
that's why I'm asking. Like, is it worth even looking around to see what's out there? I mean, I'm sure all these front office. I would imagine Rob's making calls and looking at guys and seeing who's available. But like you said, if the right piece ain't there, you don't just trade to trade.
Yeah, like it's like the big thing out here. Not even talking about getting Keon Ellis, the guy from Sacramento went to Alabama. I think that's his name. Like. He ain't a needle mover. All you doing is bringing another Marcus Smart into the system. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like people get like GGMs to me. Oh, it's trading deadline. We have to make a trade.
Yeah, we didn't make a move at that because they feel like they're going to get killed for not making a move at the deadline. Yeah, you guys didn't do anything at the deadline.
Yeah, you think about the dumbass move the Lakers made when they got rid of Zubac. I'm like, what are you thinking? You bring in what's his name, Muscala, whatever his name was. He couldn't make a shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you get rid of a young center? Dude ain't even 20 yet, and he's always showing promise. I'm like, I know what it is. Well, the league is about threes, but look what he's been able to do over the years. And that, to me, it's just if it's not a good trade. And I understand you making moves for the summer coming up where you got to move some money around. I understand that, but. The Lakers they're not in a position where they need to make room for money. They're going to have money.
Yeah. If it's not a seismic type of move, then I think a lot of what needs to come from the Lakers is they need to play harder. Guys just need to play better. Like sometimes it ain't always about a move just to make a move. Sometimes it's about what you have there needing to play better. Hey, we just need more effort from y'all. We need y'all to do. We need more effort on defense.
Not if you ask the players. The players need more people. We need the right guys. I don't play hard. I need the right guys.
Because I be looking at y'all defensively, and y'all look like one of these doggone 8 and under teams.
Yeah, but I don't want to play defense. So let's get more guys. You
don't want to win there.
No, every guy that you see him walking, they're walking with their cell phones, right? You need to put that thing on selfie mode. Like, that's the guy you need to talk to that's in that selfie portrait to make his ass play better. Talk to him. Don't point the finger at everybody else. Point the finger at that guy in that selfie. And a lot of times guys don't want to look within. They want to look without and say, okay, this is the problem. I think that's that championship teams, when they have these quote-on meetings that I fucking hated, when they have players only meeting.
Players only.
It's the stupidest meeting ever. And so you have to just say, if you're a natural competitor and you want to win, you look at that guy in the mirror in the morning and say, yo, dude, what can I do to make this team? Let me look at what I'm doing not good enough for this team to be successful. And that's what he got to do.
A Michael Jackson classic, The Man in the Selfie. Yeah. Love that. Speaking of trade rumors, Giannis got hurt, and here they are again. I have never seen a conversation die and come back to life faster than the Giannis trade conversation, which fizzled out like a month ago. And then the minute he got hurt, it's like people on ESPN going, oh, he played his last game in a Bucks uniform. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Where did that come from? Where have you been the last 2 months?
Trade the man.
But he hasn't asked for a trade. And if I'm the Bucks, I don't want to trade Giannis. You want to do everything you can to keep him. He's a cornerstone piece. He's still one of the best players in the league.
Yes.
So the Bucks aren't in a rush to trade him. So he's hurt. He'll get better. What are we doing?
I put it to you like this. They may not trade him at the deadline, but his offseason, he's going to want to be traded.
Over the summer, maybe they would entertain some offers. I'm sure. But by the deadline, come on, stop it.
It's people calling, and they're taking calls.
Yeah, I'm trading him in the summertime. That way I get picks, players, and everything.
Right, you want to maximize that whatever you get for him. So if you're gonna move him, you move him there. But even then, I don't think they're in any kind of rush to do it. I don't think they're in. I mean, unless the golden goose falls in their lap for him, I don't think they're in any kind of rush to make that happen. Unless there's stuff we don't know behind the scenes where he's just not happy and he wants out. But I haven't heard that.
I still won't trade his ass until I get something really good for him.
Right, okay, you want out. Tough shit. I'm not going to take a heap of just, bench guys just to move on from. No.
Yeah, it's funny when these GMs, these players, I want out. You know what? if you want out, just leave, and we won't pay you the rest of this contract. Let's go. I'm like, I bet she's like, no, I don't want to go to work. I'm good.
I'm good. Now, the problem is the Bucks are in a bad spot because of the Lillard contract, which I think they owe him now $20 million a season or something for like the next 4 or 5 seasons. It's something like that. The Miles Turner deal didn't really do for them what I think they thought it was going to do for them, and I think they're at the 10 seed right now, if I'm not mistaken, where they're at 18-26 on the season, and Giannis is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. I just don't. I mean, right now you're scraping to stay in the play-in. They may miss the playoffs completely.
If they miss it completely, he's going to demand a trade. He's going to demand a trade.
You think he asks at that point?
Yeah.
If they don't, but here's the thing, though. Even if you scrape in at the 10 or the 9 and you have to fight for your life, is that really that much better? I guess you got a shot.
I think either way, because look, Giannis wants to win a title. He wants to win another title.
Yeah, but this roster is not built that way right now.
Exactly. So therefore, I think he. We talked about this a long time ago when it comes to superstars wanting to demand a trade. Well, where you're going is going to also be depleted because the team that you're leaving is going to want a whole busload of stuff for you. So where you're going may not necessarily be better because of what's leaving. But I guess he feels like, you know what, I've overstayed. I love the city of Milwaukee. They've done a lot for me. I've done a lot for it. But
I want a title there.
I want a title there. But I think he thinks this train is coming to a stop. And I think he feels as though going somewhere else gives him a better opportunity to win. Now, where that may be, we do not know. We don't even know if he wants to trade out, like you said. But I have a feeling if they continue to spiral, which they probably will with him being out, and they miss the playoffs or even barely get into the play-in, I think he's going to want to demand a trade.
Hey, but it's one of the things that we forget to talk about him. You think about the last couple of years. He's been low key hurt a lot.
Yes.
He's
I don't know if he's hurt because he's one of those fake injuries hurts, but he's been hurt a lot. And he's 31.
Yeah.
And he has 2 brothers on the team. So when he goes, hey, you got to take them 2 guys with you too, because the only reason they're on the team is because of you. And so that's one of the things that Milwaukee and Giannis might be saying, man, well, shit, I'm playing. I got my brothers in the league. I got them here in Milwaukee with me. Do I really want to trade? And that's some other things that I think reasons he's like, okay, whatever y'all want to do. And because he knows if he gets traded, that them 2 dudes will never be in the league again.
Or they go where he goes.
Hey, but you ain't got that type of relationship when you come here, dog. I'm like, nah.
It's like these are my
we don't owe you shit.
These are my emotional support brothers.
Yeah, I don't think that works, man. Yeah.
Just saying.
According to Google, by the way, 2022-23 season missed significant time with various injuries. 2023-24, he missed the end of the regular season and the playoffs due to the calf strain. 24-25 dealt with an abductor strain, missed about 6 games with that before the All-Star break, plus a few more later. And then this season, as of late January, he's already missed 4 games so far this season. Now he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. So he's not as egregious as maybe some other guys around the league, but he's missed fairly significant time. And you're right, it's been kind of low key. Mm-hmm. It hasn't really been a storyline when it comes to Giannis, that he's been hurt a lot. But I don't know, last 4 years, he's missed a fairly significant amount of time. And you're right, it's something we didn't even think about talking about when it comes to him. All right, listen, for what it's worth, I want to have this conversation because I feel like we're all friends with these people. But they've been the subject of a lot of discussion this week. Speaking of people who've worked less than Robert Horry, let's address Inside the NBA. This week, there was some stuff flying around about Inside the NBA, mainly because Colin Cowherd started some shit by getting on the air and saying this.
ESPN has a great relationship with the NBA, and they said, yeah, we'll bring that show over. You won't see it as much. Put it on the shelf a little bit. I did. It felt very, very big at one time, and now it's invisible. So I don't know. I'm just saying conjecture, but I know there were people upstairs in the NBA office that didn't like how they lampooned the league and some of the players.
So the accusation being, and really the start with Chuck saying, I wish we would be working more. And this is a show that was on every Thursday night for the whole season. And I think that's what made the show great, because even when it was a slow week, we all know that. They filled that show with just the funniest and most ridiculous shit, and that's what made it great.
Right.
What ESPN has done with it is not, I don't necessarily agree with Cowherd on this, but the infrequency of it has made it, I feel like, less relevant. You know what I mean? Like there was something, it was like a security blanket. It was there every Thursday. If you're an NBA fan, you watched Inside the NBA on Thursday night. We got to see Chuck and Shaq make fun of each other, and when things were slow, Chuck would try to yodel, and Shaq would eat a flaming hot chip and choke on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was always some, it was just chaos. It was controlled chaos and made the show good, and you knew that every Thursday it was there. And now with this schedule, I mean, they worked Christmas Day. They were off for a month.
Yeah.
They worked, was it a Sunday night or Saturday night? Was the first night they'd worked in a month.
Yeah.
And that's weird for what that show is. Now, when they did get back on the air, Chuck immediately responded to that.
So we're working 3 days this week, which is fine. I just wish they would break it up more. We've been off for 2 months. There was no reason for us to be off for 2 months.
Why not?
And then you got foods on television.
It was Christmas, man.
Yes. Okay, there's some foods at home or on the internet. They're at home now, saying that we were talking bad about the players, so they made us work less. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
He caught himself there. He almost dropped an F-bomb. But I don't know. Like for me, and all of this has really sparked a lot of conversation about that show and what ESPN has done with it in the way of scheduling. They haven't really diluted the content of the show. I think for me, it's like it needs to be on once a week again, and it doesn't. You should never air. And they did this once, I think, in December, where they rolled out like a 35-minute version of it or something because they had something else to get to. Like that show should just be, give them an hour every week and just let them be. And then everybody all this shit goes away. But we're friends with all those dudes. We know all those guys. I can't imagine they're happy with this situation.
I don't understand why the hell bring them over.
If you're not going to let them be on every week.
Granted, we love the show, and there are people who feel a certain type of way. A lot of guys in the league feel a certain type of way because they sit up there and roast them all day and talk about this, that, and the third. Whoop-de-whoop. Not everybody's going to like them, and that's fine. That's cool. But you can't deny the viewership numbers, and you cannot deny what they've done for almost 20 years. I think that's how long they've almost been together. But to bring them over and then kind of recreate the wheel as if you're doing them a favor and it's not them doing you a favor. ESPN, you ain't doing the greatest. Like, this is the reason why you brought Pat McAfee over in his show. You needed him. He didn't need you. He was doing fine on his own.
McAfee reminds them of that, too, on a fairly regular basis.
Because sometimes, as much as I love ESPN and grew up loving ESPN and looking at that as the pinnacle, it has changed over the years. Their programming has changed. You don't have some of the same talent that's so beloved. They've gone elsewhere. So you have to start bringing in pieces that continue to make you relevant. You know why? Because NBC, Amazon is in this. Matter of fact, to be honest, I don't know. I think that's Amazon that Taylor Rooks and Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, that's Amazon. Yeah,
they look pretty decent over there. They look pretty.
Rob's giving you the rock.
I'm not saying that they're inside, but they're not bad. They're not bad. They're not bad. They're not inside the NBA, nowhere near. Well, but what I'm saying is, if you're ESPN,
for what they are, for a studio show,
yeah,
they're
and
doing okay.
You got inside the NBA right there, and you only have them on once in the last couple of months. Come on now. And
that's
if Chuck says it,
missed opportunity.
Chuck says it. He complained about working all the time when he was at TNT.
Oh sure, yeah, they work us like dogs. They work us like dogs over here.
So now he said, if he's saying it, this is a problem. I don't care what the players in the league say. What do your viewership numbers say, ESPN? That's what you need to be worried about.
Yeah. I don't know how you feel about it, Rob, but.
I'm gonna be honest. It's how when something comes on, you get used to it. Like they had been on so long. When they were on the other night, I turned it. I was like, those guys are irrelevant now. And I didn't even watch, man. It because you watch because you love it. Because sometimes when you're not on, you try to get so much in.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be
It's
a bastardized version of it. It's going to be like, okay, we got 35 minutes. Let's get a Nito stat in there, and we'll do a real quick Shackton, and we're done.
Yeah, I don't
and it's like that's not the show.
Yeah,
the show was they had hours to fill sometimes on TNT. They had people on unicycles and jugglers, and it was a circus over there.
Yeah,
I just think that
when because you put all the information of 1 week in, now you put in 1 week in. Now it's like I got to put 2 months of information in.
Yeah.
I got to talk about A, B, C, D, and all the, and then I turned in. And it was, talking about what was going on in Minnesota. And I'm like, okay, then they got to fill it in with, this kind of stuff. It was too much for me. So I turned it, and it was just like, and I hate it because I love the show. I just like, like, it's almost like when you turn on ESPN and all of a sudden that dude gets to yell and then you turn it. I'm like, I don't want to.
You're right.
I don't want to watch. Yeah.
You're right, because it's like, since they haven't been on in a minute, that there's going to be no room for fun.
Yeah.
Like, the fun's we don't have time for fun. We have to cover the last 3 weeks worth of shit.
Yeah.
And all the fun is just gone. And they still make fun of each other and they still laugh and that, okay, great. But like, what a wasted opportunity by ESPN, because like, to Harp's point, you need this. You need those numbers, especially now that you have this standalone platform that you're trying to sell to people on digital, and it's like $30 a month for ESPN. You need like every big gun you have, and it's like buying McAfee's show and putting them on once a week. No, you let them go every day. If you're gonna have Inside the NBA at ESPN, you have to just let them do what they do. And
I don't think I've ever watched one of McAfee's shows.
I watched any of it.
He's fun, dude. He's he's not 100% my cup of tea, but the younger demographic, which is what they need, loves him, man.
Yeah. He's on in the gym when I'm on the treadmill or the elliptical, and I watch it. And when I get tired of reading, I just, I start looking at other shit.
They got with Inside, man. It's like having a.
I hear he's really good, but I've never watched.
He's fun, dude. He's fun. It's a fun show.
It's like having a Lamborghini that you never drive, or you only drive it once a year. And,
just on the weekends.
Yeah, and it's like, not really, just on the weekends. Not even that. It's like,
you know what? We haven't taken it out in a month. Let's go get some nice dinner one night. We'll take the Lambo out. Yeah.
I have my gripes with them a little bit when it comes to, they may not watch the games as much as they need to. I get that.
Of course they
But that's been the joke on them for years. And it never stopped it never cut into the viewership. The numbers always show that people are tuning in, because a lot of people ain't tuning in for that. They're not tuning in to hear them always break down every aspect of the game. Yes, they do that, but people are there for the jokes. After the game, after those late night games are over, people tune in. They're there for the jokes. They're there for the laughs. They're there for the commentary. That's what they're there for, and the numbers show that. So
what's weird though? When I was watching it, I kind of was watching Ernie's body language. He was like this in the chair, like, yeah. And so I love Ernie. You can fire those other three dudes. This just on fire Ernie, right? Because I love Ernie. So, and when I saw Ernie, it seemed like he was like, man, I'm tired. I was like, okay, Ernie's not in it. I'm not in it. So
yeah, no, you're right. But because I think Ernie knows, it's like, all right, we have to just do all this crap. We got 40 minutes to get all this in. We're not going to have any weird conversations that go off the rails like gas math or any of the old shit they used to do. It's just going to be, okay, highlights, recap, story of the week, and we're done.
ESPN killed the show. They're killing the show. They're taking the life out of the show.
They're slowly killing. And I hate it, dude. I feel, and I don't feel bad for all of them. They're all made a ton of money. I feel bad for NBA fandom that has loved and celebrated that show. And, like, it just sucks because everybody was like, this is the case where everyone wanted to be wrong. Everyone said ESPN's going to kill the show, and everyone was like, "No, they're not. They're gonna let them be them. They're gonna let them do their thing." And then they haven't been on the air for like a month, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, damn it, we were right. We didn't want to be right, but we're right."
Oh, ESPN, like this is what I mean by ESPN. When you start talking about the fall off. They are falling off. They're falling off so much to the point where they don't know what they actually. You have a gold mine there. You ain't got the best
show on television for NBA basketball, and then you put them on the bench.
And you put them on the bench. Come on, man.
I don't get it. A couple quick notes here before we get to some other stuff. We're definitely going to talk about the Super Bowl. I got audio of the week for you. I want to talk about Skyscraper Live. because
I watched that live.
That was some wild shit.
Yeah.
Bulls retired Derrick Rose as number 1 the other night. I feel like justly deserved. He gets to go up in the rafters with Jordan and Pippen.
Hometown kid.
I mean, 3-time All-Star, 2008 Rookie of the Year, 2010-2011 first NBA team, 2010-2011 MVP. Youngest MVP.
Youngest MVP of all time.
In NBA history, and still holds that crown. So justly deserved. Congratulations to Derrick Rose. I'm glad he got that moment. That was cool.
Start talking about those Bulls teams, man. You talk about teams that contended with LeBron, those Heat teams, and that really gave Bron and them some hard times. It was that D Rose Bulls team with Taj Gibson and those guys, bro.
Taj's speech was cool too.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys saw any of that, but
Melo had a chance to go join them, but decided to go to New York. So, he lost out on his chance because he didn't want to sit down $15 million to the side, which he would have made up in endorsement money, but that's neither here nor there. But, yeah, if D Rose would have stayed healthy, man, he would have won him a title or two.
Yeah, one of the best of that age, at least that era out there. So cool to see him get his moment. The Clippers, I wanted to mention the Clippers 15-3 run because did you see the guy with the tweet?
Yes.
Oh, I love it so much. Someone from like a Clippers podcast had tweeted like, man, the Clippers are going to go 15-3 in their next 18. It's going to be wild. And this guy tweets back, his name's Robert Flom. If they go 15-3 in any stretch this season, I will print and eat this tweet. They went 15-3 over their last 18, and when I tell you, people were at the arena with giant billboard versions of the tweet printed out, like, "Here you go, buddy!" Like they're gonna, and the Clippers, dude. I wrote the Clippers off. I wrote them off. I was like, forget it. They ain't gonna figure it out. They've clawed their way back into this, man. They're back into the play-in. They're about to crack 500. They're at 21-24, I think, right now. I think they're 3 games back of a 500 team, and they've been playing really good basketball all of a sudden. So all the Clippers fans who want to print shit like that and maybe talk out of sight of their face maybe want to take a quick
And they can
breath.
still, no matter how bad they are, they can still find a way to beat the Lakers. Some things, as much as things change, some things remain the same.
Yeah. Ty Lue got that number, dog.
I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is, but I love that the guy had that tweet. He's gonna apparently, and I didn't watch it, but apparently he ate the tweet. He has a Clippers podcast. Apparently, like last night or the night before, he had to go on and eat the tweet. So they printed it out on something, and he ate it. Who knows?
That's
Put
crazy.
it out on a piece of cake.
You put a tweet on a piece of cake, I'll eat a tweet. I'll eat a tweet on a piece of cake. Shit. And then I wanted to bring this up real quick before we get into some other stuff. The Pelicans almost traded for Ja Morant. That came out this week. And they were close, and I don't know why they didn't pull the trigger on this. This was from NBA insider Brandon Robinson. The Pelicans made an aggressive attempt to pursue Ja Morant. From what I'm hearing, this is from Scoop, the quote was, the Pelicans put a heavy-hitting offer on the table. They were ready to move Jordan Poole and DeJounte Murray in exchange for Ja Morant and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. But the Pelicans also floated several other packages to see if Memphis would bite on depth and veteran presence, and it doesn't look like they did it. I'm surprised they didn't pull the trigger on that. DeJounte Murray and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope?
DeJounte Murray's always hurt.
Right,
Jordan Poole is a shell of himself after getting knocked out. And I just think that's not enough for Ja, even though Ja market is small.
I was going to say, Ja's market ain't.
Yeah, but still, though, at the end of the day, you can get more than that.
I don't know if you can, though.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I'm surprised they didn't pull it, because I'm like, who else is giving you something of really any value?
I can tell you.
Go ahead.
Atlanta.
And it's one piece there.
And what are they going to give him?
New Orleans wants their pick back.
That's it? They're going to move him for a pick?
The Grizzlies would want that New Orleans pick, which could possibly be the number 1 pick overall in this draft. Which is a pretty. I
don't think they move him for just that, though.
It's not just not just that. I mean, you would have to put Ricochet and some other things in there.
You're going to have to package some other players that are.
But you talk about bringing in your next franchise. If you're going to give up your franchise player, the thing that the Grizzlies would get back is the potential of having the number 1 pick in this year's draft, where the top 5. You can have your next franchise guy take your pick, especially if you get the number 1 pick.
Yeah, you know what? This is going to be the first year that I think in a long time where your number 1 pick is going to be a head scratcher. Like, what do you go after? I'm like, you got BYU, you got maybe the kid from North Carolina.
Duke.
Of course, you got the kids down in Duke.
That kid
you
from
got the kid
BYU
from
is
Kansas and
The banter.
Yeah, that kid's throwing it up. Holy crap!
But that was a good game last night. BYU and Arizona. Seeing Pete and the banter go. It was a good game, but this is I think the top 10 guys are all gonna be rookies. I mean freshmen. And so this is a hell of a draft coming up this year.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that the Hawks should pull the trigger on that because I think they really, really covet that piece. I don't know how much they covet Ricochet. Now, like I said, he has to be when you start talking about the number one pick with the least amount of pressure on him in NBA history, it's him. Like you forget that he was a number one draft pick.
No, I don't.
No,
forget.
we don't.
No,
we don't.
Some people do.
I don't.
Because it was the draft. We had the number one pick.
You're right.
Of course it's the draft.
But he skates through because it was also a weak draft. Like it was him, and Sarr over in Washington.
Yeah.
So I mean, he kind of skates on by.
I was surprised they didn't pull the trigger on that move. I thought that would have been a good trade.
Yeah, but the Grizzlies if you package the Hawks would have put something together, which I doubt they do, the Grizzlies might bite because of that pick.
I didn't have this on the sheet, but speaking of, you mentioned Jordan Poole. Rob made he hadn't been the same since he got knocked out. Did you see that little kid ask him that question the other day in class?
Oh yeah.
So he was speaking to like a classroom full of kids, and he was asking if he had any questions. Some little kid, he must have been like a first grader or second grader, said, "What did it feel like when Draymond Green punched you in the face?" And he's just like, oh, "All right, yeah, no, that was fun. Thanks, man. All right, I'm gonna go." That's enough of that. Super Bowl 60. We got our matchup. Patriots Broncos. I gotta say that the Patriots Broncos game was the one this weekend that I was like halfway through the third quarter. I was like, all right, this game's kind of a defensive slugfest. Broncos left 3 points on the board. I was like, eh. And then by halfway through, the start of the fourth quarter, you couldn't see a goddamn thing. It was all white, and you couldn't see the lines on the field. You couldn't see the out of bounds marker. It was hard to see the first down markers. That blizzard came in fast, and I mean they couldn't kick field goals, they couldn't complete passes, nobody could do a damn thing. So that game was effectively over by the time the snow started. So that's kind of why I'm like, man, if you're Denver and you leave those 3 points on the field, you lose by 3. You go for it on fourth down when you're up 7-0 in the first half, and stupid move by what's his name? Well, I can't think of it. Sean Payton. What a jackass move. Yeah. Patriots go back to the Super Bowl because of it.
I look at a lot of times when you look at quarterbacks, I'm looking at Stidham had a couple opportunities. Just run the ball. Yeah. It's 3 yards right there. You can't throw because you don't know if that's snow or player. Just run the ball.
Dude. Yeah, and and then him with that little backward shuffle pass that turned into a touchdown because it turned into a fumble, and it was and that's why I'm kicking Sean Payton in the ass a little bit here because I'm like, you have an unproven quarterback who has not played, who is in there because Bo Nix is hurt, and you're you're going for it on fourth down when you don't have to and leaving. What are you doing?
Yes.
What are you doing? Like take
against a good defense too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it put a lot of pressure on his defense.
Dude, and it would have been 10-10. And you would have had to force overtime in the snow, which would have been a total shit show and could have gone anybody's way.
Yeah. And I was really rooting, to be honest, rooting for the Broncos. Even with a backup quarterback, I was really hoping that Sean Payton would have been a little smarter than that, knowing
and they
that
played good.
Backup quarterback, yeah.
They played a good game. They did. And he's bad coaching. And then the Rams and Seahawks.
Why we got to talk about
but I wanted to get into. I'm not trying to harp on you. It was a slugfest, though.
Oh, it's always going to be a slugfest.
But I give the Rams a lot of credit because every time Seattle came in and did something crazy and punched him in the face, Matthew Stafford would put together like a 12-play, 7.5-minute, 80-yard drive to get him right back in the game.
That's what MVPs do.
They came up short, but
and I stayed with them too. Run the ball, Matthew Stafford. You ran it one time and you got another chance to run and get the first down.
Stafford does not run the ball. He does not run the ball.
He got the first down. Get the first down.
Well, that was a broken play. He had to.
And literally they were like, "Oh my God, here he goes! Oh no!" like everyone as soon as he started to scramble was like freaking out.
But that's the whole thing. They don't expect it. Get the first down.
Here's
it was like what? It was like 4th and 2. I mean 3rd and 2. It was like 3rd and 2. Then they threw it. Then they threw it again. I'm like, All you had to do one time, he was literally standing with nobody in front of him. He could have just fell down.
2 yards is a
and got
long
the
way
first
from
down.
Matthew Stafford. Bro.
Fall down and put the ball down. You got the first down.
The thing that put this game, this is how I knew we weren't going to the Super Bowl. The botch punt return, the botch fumble.
That was terrible.
I knew because he was shaky before. That was the third punt.
Yeah, but he was like, he fell backwards before he even had.
And still tried to catch it.
And
Just
still
roll out
let
the way.
it hit him in the shoulder, and it was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, if you know you ain't going to catch that ball, roll out the way. Stop, drop, and roll.
The way we were, if he would have fair caught that, there's nobody that couldn't have told me the way we were driving down the field offensively, we would have taken the lead if we would have scored a touchdown on that drive. We wouldn't have been behind. But because we had that botched fumble, you give them great field position, and they go up by 13, I think.
Whatever it was, yeah. I wish they would have kicked the field goal toward the end of the game instead of going for it on fourth down, because then you would have been down a point. It would have been 31-30, I think.
Yeah.
And you had, I think they want to say there was like 3 or 4 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, but the thing about
there was enough time to go, if you can hold them and get the ball back, a field goal wins the game. I don't know why you feel like you have to go for it.
I know why, and I get that, but the defense haven't been able to stop a running nose pretty much all game.
I get it, but it's, to me, it makes the most logical sense as your best shot to win the game, because then you're going to give them the ball back with 3-4 minutes, and they're going to, if you haven't been able to stop them then, when do we make sure you say you're going to stop them there?
Well, Sean is as intelligent as he is. He's an offensive guy. He believes in Matthew Stafford and that offense. I don't necessarily fault him for going for it, because, like I said, the defense struggled a lot of the game.
I know.
And
All right, well, listen, I want to play the audio of the week, which was a Seahawks fan celebrating outside the stadium. I got to give this reporter credit for trying to get her not cussing on live TV and failing miserably.
So tell me, you were inside there.
Beat the fucking Patriots. Redo.
Try to say that again without the F-bomb.
We're about to fucking redo this shit. We're about to
well, that's too bad.
Yeah, all right, well, that's too bad. What was that?
Okay, well, that's too bad.
yeah. There's no way you were going to get her to censor herself after that kind of win.
She was probably lit, too.
Oh, she was completely lit. And the best was she's on her man's shoulders. So they go to interview the husband, their husband or boyfriend, whoever he is, and they're like, "How do you feel?" He's like, "I think we're gonna win the Super Bowl." he was gonzo.
Here's my thing. I would ask, working in the media, if you're a TV station going down there to get interviews, not knowing that people have been drinking, they're excited.
Of course they.
Why don't you look? I understand that FCC and all that, but you do know you're going down there to talk to people who are excited. They're not thinking, "Oh, I'm on TV." They're thinking, "I'm excited. I'm gonna say what I want to say." So don't go down there if you don't want people to say, "Hey, we want you on, but we want to censor you." They're not gonna censor themselves. They drunk and they're excited. When the last time you heard a drunk, excited person censor themselves?
Plus, most of what they watch now is on the internet. You can say whatever the hell you want on the internet.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't think about it's not broadcast television anymore.
Don't go down there if you don't want everything that comes with it. I understand.
I love it though. Speaking of broadcast television, my favorite clip of the week, non sequitur. Before we get to big shot of the week, and I want to talk briefly about the Skyscraper guy. During the snowstorm, I had a weather girl in Oklahoma who went on Facebook and maybe posed this question the wrong way. Here's her on the air talking about the snow measurements.
Uh-oh.
And then just your reports that you've been sending in, keep those coming. I made the mistake on Facebook. I asked for your measurements. I meant your snow measurements. Thank you for everybody sending in your measurements, but I do prefer how much snow you have on the ground.
R.I.P. to her comments, by the way. Her comment section was probably like, I got 6 inches for you, girl. Like, it was a lot of that. I promise you. It was a lot of that.
Who was this?
Just a weather girl in Oklahoma. I don't know. I don't know her name, but she's in Oklahoma.
That's crazy.
She's a good-looking girl too. I got news for you. Yeah, I got 5 inches for you, but it's getting bigger. It was a lot of that. I promise you. It was a lot of that. All right. Did you watch Skyscraper?
I did.
Rob, did you watch the Skyscraper guy?
I watched it for a second, then I flipped it.
You weren't intrigued by that?
Man, my attention span lately, it's been like awful. I'm like,
really? You are
butterfly.
ADD, like all over the place,
the
bro.
attention span of a gerbil.
No, it's like, it was a lot of TV shows I've been wanting to watch, and so I've just been like locked in on those.
I couldn't stop watching it though.
Bro, my palms are sweaty.
Dude, the whole time, I'm like, I mean, I was freaking out. I was on the edge of my seat for the whole thing. It was just like
y'all watched the whole thing.
I watched the whole. I watched him climb that whole thing with a pit in my stomach for an hour and a half, like because he was doing shit on the side of that building. I'm like, he's gonna die. We're gonna watch this man die on Netflix. They had a 10-second delay in case he fell.
So,
and I'm like, that's not enough. I don't want to watch this man
Thank God
die.
for the 10-second delay.
I know.
My thing is, it was so crazy when he just started climbing and got to 20 feet. I said, if he fall now, he gonna break his neck.
Yeah.
I said,
and he got 1,700 more feet to go.
Right.
Yeah.
He said 20 feet.
Yeah. He fall right here. He's done.
Yep.
And I said, bro, like to have that a pair of balls on you like that, to climb over pieces of this structure and the wind blowing the way it is. He's sitting up here giggling and laughing and waving at people
and people inside the building taking pictures of him. How about you take a flashlight? Oh, bah!
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm like, you could be the cause of this man death because you can take your flash off.
Yep. Or some girls just presses him against the glass. And my man just,
And then he was talking about...
He got killed by titties.
Yeah, it was like...
Poor bastard.
I'm getting a little tired. I'm like, all right, bro, you can't get tired now. I don't know what you going to do.
He was near the top, and he's just like, man, I'm getting tired.
Knock on the window. Yo, man, let me in for a second.
Yeah, let me get some.
But I've been to this building.
In Taiwan?
Yes, I've been to and it is, when I say it's crazy tall, it is crazy tall. And the reason I remember this building is because I had never had, what's it called? It's a sushi place right there. And I had the salmon collar. And I had never had salmon collar before. And I remember that because I thought, oh, the one-on-one. And it's salmon collar. So it all kind of comes together. So I've been to that building. And when you how you look at buildings, it's like,
and you feel like you're going to fall over?
Yeah, it's huge, man. So for him to climb that building,
it was crazy.
I think it was special to me because I know where he at. I've been there, so it was.
I've never
really
even
weird
seen that building before. It's wild.
Yeah.
But my wife had it perfectly surmised, where she goes, if I told you a man was climbing a building without any ropes or security in any way, you'd 100% guarantee it's a white guy, right? And I was like, oh, hands down. This is white people shit. Hands down.
Yeah.
So
speaking of white people shit, y'all see the Will Smith when he was with Jimmy Fallon when he went under the ice and they was like saying abort, 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 and he was under the ice and he couldn't get out, and so they had to pull him out, and he said the first thing he says, Lord, if you let me out of here, I promise I would never do no white folk shit ever again.
Well, it's gonna lead us. We're gonna give Big Shot of the Week, and then it's gonna lead us to this week's game, which is called Black Accomplishment or White Accomplishment.
Oh Lord!
In the vein of Black crime or white crime, we're gonna celebrate accomplishments. You just have to tell me if it was the accomplishment of a black person or a white person, and we'll put that to the test. Big Shot of the Week's gonna go to the Milwaukee Bucks, by the way. Largely because late on Sunday, the NBA announced the game versus the Mavericks was going to be postponed due to travel because of the winter storm, but they had already started all of their food prep for all the premium. I mean, they canceled that game like 2 hours before it was supposed to tip off or something, so like all this food had been made and all the stuff in the arena had been prepped and cooked and all this stuff, so they went and donated. The quote from the Bucks was, following postponement of tonight's Milwaukee Bucks-Dallas Mavericks game, First Serve Forum and the Bucks donated all the food that was prepared for concessions and premium areas to those in need. We thank Sojourner Family Peace Center and Hunger Task Force for great assistance in delivering food shelters. They released brats, hot dogs, mac and cheese, jalapeno mac and cheese, pollo asado, beef tacos, pretzel bites, nachos, Mexican street corn. Like everything they cooked went to food shelters who needed food that night. So I thought, I was just like, look, not like, okay, it wasn't a crazy thing, but it was a cool thing and a smart thing for the Bucks to do.
Very smart.
Because it was a very good look for the Bucks, and I thought it was actually a really cool story. So I give Bucks Big Shot of the Week. That was good for them.
Yeah.
Cool for them. All right, let's do this and see if you guys can guess whose accomplishment belonged to who. If I can get the music going. There it goes. All right. So I'm just going to give you a crazy accomplishment. Sometimes a name, other times not a name, because for obvious reasons. Sometimes it's a giveaway. And you just have to tell me if the accomplishment was made by a white person or a black person. So here we go. Alongside Robert Peary, a man named Matthew Henson was one of the first men to reach the North Pole, conquering Arctic exploration with a team of people by his side. So the first man to step foot in the North Pole. Black guy or white guy?
Black guy. Because I know you're not going to start this show with some white folk shit first.
Oh, is that right? You underestimate me.
I'm going to say black guy, too.
All right, well. You both rightly sniffed out my ruse here. Yeah, no, I'm going to start with some black people shit. Yeah, no, yeah. But that's cool. I did not know that the first men to step foot in the North Pole was a black guy. I would 100% have said that's white people.
Well, look, I'll say this. All black people have one or two white folk stuff they'll do on their list. But that's about it.
But venturing to be the first person to ever discover the North Pole, I didn't see that on the list.
say to what extreme. Yeah. I'm just saying.
I actually knew this one. So when you said that, I actually knew this one. So
all right, how about
the only one I will know.
The first man to eat an airplane. Yes, this man tested the limits of human digestion, consumed metal, glass, rubber, all the pieces that added up to a Cessna airplane.
Oh, that's white shit.
That's white.
That is the whitest white people shit I've ever heard in my life. That was Michael Latito.
I heard this story,
a Cessna airplane. That is white people shit. You are absolutely right. All right, how about Bass Reeves? One of the first U.S. deputies west of the Mississippi in the 1800s, arrested 3,000 plus violent criminals, and was the first U.S. Marshal on the frontier.
Black.
Black guy, white guy?
Black.
Your brother.
It's a TV show out with him.
You guys are good at this, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Have you watched this show?
No, I don't even know the show.
It's actually a show. I don't know which platform it's on, but it's Bass Reeves. It's actually pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. Damn. All right, well, how about this? In 1974, a man illegally walked a tightrope between the Twin Towers in New York City. He made 8 passes over 45 minutes.
I've seen this movie. He's
in
white.
1974.
He's white.
And you guys sniffed all these out, really.
I saw the movie.
Yeah, that was a white guy. Philip Petit. Philippe Petit, I believe his name was. He was a white guy. All right, how
Italian?
about... I don't know. Sure, why not? How about in 1978? This man who tackled the near impossible made the first ever ascent up Mount Everest without supplemental oxygen. So the guy did it en natural. Black guy, white guy. A lot of people make that ascent. They bring oxygen tanks and Sherpas and all this stuff. This guy did it with none of that.
Remember.
It happened in 1978.
I want to say... I'm trying to remember if there's any black people that made it to the summit.
Oh, plenty have.
I'm gonna go white.
Okay.
I'm gonna go black.
Okay, this was Reinhold Messner.
Oh, he white.
As a white man.
Yeah,
as a white man. Yeah. All right, 2 to go. This woman and her husband were the first in America to patent the audiovisual home security system, receiving the patent in 1969. Black people, white people.
Black.
Patented the first home security system.
Black.
I'm gonna go black.
Marie Van Britten Brown and Albert L. Brown, black folks.
Oh, dang.
Brown. The last name Brown, man.
Well,
come on now.
Give me those names again.
Say hello to the black family.
Hold on. Give me the name again, Rob.
It was, let me run it back. Marie Van Britten Brown and Albert L. Brown.
Okay, that Van threw me off.
Okay, yeah. Van is usually it's that rule of 3 names, usually a white person. Yeah. Okay. All right. Lastly, finally, the man who tested near space freefall in 1960, jumping from a height of 102,800 feet on the edge of space.
White guy.
Oh, that's Mayo White.
Yeah, it's Joe Kittinger. The whitest of white people you will ever see. You're like, you ain't kidding. He is Hellman's white. You are not wrong.
I've skydived and I ain't playing with nothing like that.
Near space freefall.
No.
At what point do you think it's like, okay, you know what? How far high up we jumping? 102,000 feet. Let's go.
I'm good.
Let's go. I'm gonna rip through the atmosphere.
Don't forget the 800.
Oh yeah, sorry. Add the extra 800 feet. That's really what made the difference. Yeah, that's really.